What's your take on El Chapo as a
Man,
former
I, cou-
drug kingpin?
I couldn't really understand a lot of his moves, to be on the run and open himself up to the woman. I watched an interview on her one day. I was in a hotel room. That's the only time I watch TV is if I'm in a hotel room and I'm in a different city and I don't have anything to do and I might turn the news on or something and watch. Well, one day I was flipping through the channels and I caught her interview and she was talking about how she didn't think that El Chapo would give her the interview. And also bring up Sean Penn along with her. Um, but it's just crazy how he's allowed them to come into his space knowing that he was up under such scrutiny. Um,
Right. After having escaped so many
yeah,
times.
that last escape, man, it would have been like, let's go to an island, man, and just chill,
Get some plastic surgery.
I'll build you a prison, a nice big house. It's gonna be just like the prison, where you never come out. Just stay in the house. Um,
Because he was actually found in, I believe, like near his hometown.
yeah, I'm not for sure, but it's just his whole way that he was carrying himself to me was bizarre. As if he didn't care about getting caught.
Yeah.
He had become from her interview, he had became more with wanting to be famous than wanting to be free.
Right. And now he was finally transferred to a U.S. prison.
Well, he's done.
No tunnels in there.
No, no, you have to tunnel down 10 stories.
Right. And what's
Well, you don't
interesting?
get visitors. He's not going to even, like,
Yeah.
he can't even touch his attorneys. I was listening to the radio, and he can't even touch his attorneys. He'll
Right.
be getting his mail on the screen. He'll be talking to his family on the telephone when they come to the visiting room.
Yeah, so you can't even see people face to face.
No, no, no. He'll be going. He'll be going to Colorado. I've been helping Larry Hoover's wife with Larry's book. So she goes and visits him, and she was telling me about how they visit, and I think last year was the first time that Larry was able to actually have lunch with 10 other people. He's been having lunch and dinner and everything by himself for like 30 years.
Wow.
So now El Chapo is getting ready to experience total isolation,
Yeah.
which I know he's not used to that because he's used to having people around him. But ADX is what it's called, is total isolation. I met guys who come from ADX when I was in the pen. They do what they call down you, where you start in ADX and then as you drop, you go to a penitentiary. And it's an awful place, they say.
Right. And I guess they haven't found a penny of his alleged billions of dollars that he made.
Huh. Well, it could all be hype. A lot of times the stuff be hyped up bigger than what it is. I wouldn't be surprised. Would not be surprised.
Yeah.
Because the feds, they'll take a kilo and say it was worth 200,000. And it was a time that I could make 200,000 off of a kilo when I first started, but that was 50 years ago.
Right. I mean, when you look at, from your point of view, when you look at what's happening with the drug cartels, with drug distribution in 2017, what do you think is the big difference?
Well, you know what? I really don't pay much attention to what's going on with the cartels and the illicit drugs and stuff like that. I do know a little bit about the heroin epidemic,
The opioid.
opioids.
Epidemic.
How
Yeah.
so many people were overdosing. I was just in York, Pennsylvania the other day, and I spoke at a couple schools, and one of the school's administrators was telling me that day they had 2 ODs that same day. So I'm aware of that to a small level, but I'm not really aware of how they do their business. But I did mine more. I was more of a businessman. I didn't really do my drugs to purposely hurt nobody. When I first started selling cocaine, it was a Hollywood drug. It was a party drug. It was a drug that the stars were using, it looked glamorous. You know, they talked about it in records. It was on TV. So I felt perfectly at ease with getting involved with something that was so acceptable to the powers that be. But now with heroin, with the deaths that it's causing, with the cuts that they're using, I hear that they're cutting it with some Anaerol or something like that. That's supposed to be super high, some super high level that's really doing the killing. It's not really the heroin that's killing. It's the cuts that I believe. But it's just a different time.
Yeah, absolutely. Freeway Ricky Ross, appreciate the time once again. Good luck in your new business.
You already know.
Yeah.
Appreciate you having me on as always, and we'll come back again.
Yes, we will.